the Alabama team. They won that matchup against Mississippi just a few weeks ago. So, a good player that Alabama's able to get at that time during the game. I made mention that, it was still up in the air. He had committed to Alabama, but had not signed his papers and turned them in. Now he has, so they've made it official. I think the basketball battle here in the state of Alabama will be great. Bruce Pearl has a history in college basketball. I think he is definitely up there as one of the top coaches in college basketball. He's earned that right to be in that in that classification. Avery Johnson has had a tremendous career as an NBA player, coached for several years in the NBA. He's been out of coaching for a couple of years. I think he's the biggest wild card we've seen in a long time. I think for Alabama fans or whoever the fans are out there, nobody knows how this is going to turn out for Alabama. I mean, and for Avery Johnson. I mean, he's going to learn very quickly that the rigors of college sports are a lot different than pro. I mean, there's a lot of different things you have to adhere to and different things you have to do. That doesn't mean he's going to fall on his face. Doesn't mean that he's going to set the woods on fire. We've all got to wait and see how it all plays out. That's what's going to make it even more interesting to see how he does at Alabama. For Bruce Pearl at Auburn, I thought toward the end of the year in the SEC tournament, gained a little momentum right there. Auburn won a few games there in the SEC tournament, made a run, got some people talking about him. He's got a great recruiting class coming in, ranked 12th in the country, depending on which recruiting service you look at. So I expect not some kind of tremendous jump next year, but I expect Auburn to be even that much more competitive next year under the second year of Bruce Pearl.
And the league's just getting better as a whole. You got Mississippi State hiring Ben Howland. I think that's a fabulous hire for them. And Tennessee with Rick Barnes. I mean, look, we'll have plenty of time to talk about basketball. I think now, though, we should talk about some 8A stuff. And I've let it be known on several occasions, look, 8A to me doesn't mean a ton. We've seen a lot of 8A heroes and a lot of 8A goats, and they flip-flop it when the regular season comes around. Because to me, the hay's already in the barn. Okay, all the practice led up.
There's a lot of guys that didn't even play either. So.
Alabama either set 9 or 10 guys on the bench.
Yeah, Auburn had several on the bench too.
And it's just, and why not? I mean, why would you play Ashawn Robinson if there's a hint that he may? Now, where I think you can judge is if you look at it more of an individual basis, okay? I think you look at I know I watched Alabama's, and I can say, obviously, Robert Foster, I think he looked very, very good. It's promising. I think Ardarius Stewart looked very good, very promising. The defense overall looked incredible. And when you consider Jonathan Allen and Ashawn Robinson and some other guys didn't play, Cyrus Jones, Denzel Duvall, these guys didn't play. Alabama's defense could be very, very, very good. I'm excited about that. The quarterback situation obviously hadn't worked itself out, if you ask me. I mean, Jake Coker, I think, was as Jake Coker as you can be. If you think about, he had a great first half and a subpar second half. He was 14 of 28 for 160 yards, I think, somewhere in that neighborhood, 1 touchdown and 1 pick six. Everything evened out. And I guess in a way that's not awful. If you had that kind of performance, could Alabama win with it? I think yes. But what if you need somebody to bring you from behind, a la Alabama LSU this past year in Death Valley? I don't know that Jake Coker can do that, and that's what bugs me. I think at some point you're going to need a quarterback to do something. Now, there's a lot of talk out there about Braxton Miller. Could he be transferring to Alabama? That talk is certainly heated up in the last 24 hours. I mean, it's been out there as a possibility for a while. It has certainly gained a lot of momentum. I don't know. As long as the guy can hand off and not throw interceptions, that's who I want quarterback in my team.
Yeah, well, and I didn't really pay a ton of attention. I watched several plays of Alabama scrimmage, but, Jake Coker in the first half thought he did a pretty good job, and then the second half comes out and throws that pick six. And you're right. That is the ebb and flow of Jacob Coker, and it's why he didn't win the starting job from Blake Sims last year. He's just too inconsistent. I think Alabama's got some great talent at quarterback. The problem is none of them are consistent enough to feel confident that you can stick out there and that be your guy. So, would it be a shock to have a Braxton Miller move in? Probably not. I'm not going to say that Alabama season is not going to be a successful one because if Braxton Miller doesn't come in or somebody else doesn't come in before the season starts, I think you can coach those guys to do what you need them to do to be successful, let the other guys make plays. But because Alabama's done that in the past, but it is vanilla-ish at quarterback right now. You don't have somebody that really stands out, but Alabama's proven in the past they don't need that guy. So you just got to have I know you've said it before, and you don't like to use game manager, but that's really what it is. I mean, that's what a quarterback really is a game manager. Sometimes you have a guy that's a prolific athlete that can make a ton of plays, like a Cardale Jones or a Cam Newton or somebody back there that is just a difference maker. But for the most part, you need a guy that you can rely on to not make mistakes and not kill you when you need to make a play. And, it's a statement that's thrown around a lot by the media, but that is what a quarterback's definition really is a game manager. He is supposed to manage the game, keep everybody in control, know what the plays are, know what the situations are, and not do anything to get you beat.
Well, and I think that's going to be the key for Alabama. Again, this defense is good enough to lead this team to an undefeated season. I have absolutely no doubt about that. The defensive line and the linebackers are absolutely fabulous, and the defensive backs are good enough. So the question's going to be, the offensive line is better. Derrick Henry, Kenyon Drake, again, assuming they stay healthy. Everybody says if they stay healthy. I mean, you can't predict injuries. So I'm going to pretend everybody's going to be healthy. As long as they're back there and you get Damian Harris, number one running back in the country, coming in with this signing class, I feel good about the running game. Wide receivers alleviated a lot of my fears all through practice and in the spring game. I'd heard about Robert Foster and Ardarius Stewart. They did well in A-Day. O.J. Howard, I still think he's a little underutilized, but he's got all the tools. So I feel good about every position on the field. J.K. Scott, best punter in the country. I don't think it's close. He's going to end up being the best punter in Alabama history. I believe that wholeheartedly. He could be a punter who leaves early. Jimmy and I talked about that possibility on Talking Tuscaloosa today. That could happen. The only question is quarterback. And it's such a big question, though, because it is the most important position in sports. And for Alabama, it's such an interesting question because they don't need this incredibly dynamic player. They need somebody who's not going to make mistakes. Well, guess what? They played 5 quarterbacks, and they combined for 6 interceptions. So that's certainly troubling. You could, if you want to spin it and be totally homer about this, I guess you could say, well, it just means the defensive backs are that good. I'm not buying that. And maybe, just maybe, Brett, this was a situation where Lane Kiffin said, we're going to throw a bunch of passes. I just want to see who can do what, because they did throw a lot more passes than they did run the ball. And in the regular season, I don't think that'll be the case. But 6 interceptions is alarming no matter how you spin it.
Yeah, 256-234. 6464 1-800-782-0108. Talking about Alabama's A-Day. We'll shift over and talk about Auburn here in just a little bit. Probably go into the break and then come back. Spring football game crowds, A-Day crowds for Alabama and Auburn were down considerably this year. Last year, Auburn led the nation with a crowd of 83,401. Alabama, over the last several years, has had the largest crowd in concession. Just a lot of popularity this year, down considerably for both Auburn and Alabama. Auburn's crowd at 62,143. Alabama's crowd comes in at 65,175.
And let me just go ahead and say both of those numbers are grossly inflated. I mean, I saw the crowds. They were not 62,000 at Auburn, and I don't think there were 65,000 at Alabama. I know you have to do that, I guess, for recruiting purposes, but when you hear those numbers, it sounds kind of silly. I just don't think there are that many people there.
Ohio State had 99,391.
I do think there were that many people.
Yeah, I mean, look, the whole country has been starved for somebody. Florida State last year, now Ohio State this year. Ironically, the two teams that knocked both Auburn and Alabama out of a chance at another title. Get their programs back on the map, get the rest of the country back on the map. An ACC team and now a Big Ten team winning a national championship. Ohio State under probation for a year or so, just had some rough patches themselves. Had an undefeated season last year that nobody really gave them much credit for because everybody knew they couldn't play for anything. I think Urban Meyer, whether we like him or not, has gone up there and done a tremendous job and proven he is an elite coach. And he can go pretty much anywhere he wants to and win football games. And he's got a tremendous team coming back. Definitely the favorite to win the Big Ten once again. And that with all that recipe, all those ingredients, Luke, you throw them in a bowl or horseshoe, and you get 99,391 people to come to your 8A game, and you got Cardell Jones out there as your returning quarterback, and of course you got J.T. Barrett, and you also got Braxton Miller standing over there with injuries that weren't ready to play. But I mean, you got three tremendous, outstanding quarterbacks on that team. Everybody can't play, so that's where the talk of Braxton Miller leaving. Does J.T. Barrett stay too? I mean, what is the deal? Did both of them try to?
Well,
find?
Here's the thing: the difference is Braxton Miller can leave and doesn't have to sit out. He's been graduated since December.
That's right.
And we talked about that on the podcast today. That okay, why didn't he leave earlier? If he's in such a,
I agree
if
with
he
that.
wants to hightail it now, my theory is that I think a lot of teams that he would want to transfer to, the two that have been most talked about have been Alabama and LSU. And I think those two would probably like to know exactly how injured he is. So I'm willing to bet that everybody was doing their due diligence here, trying to figure out, okay, exactly how hurt are you?
Yeah.
Because if you transfer in and you can't play, you don't do anybody any good.
What good are you? Yeah,
And why not stay at Ohio State? But I think Braxton Miller does see the writing on the wall, and it's one of those things where, okay, I can stay at Ohio State, but the first time he throws an interception, whether it's tipped, no matter what happens, everybody's going to be calling for Cardell Jones. I mean, they've got an embarrassment of riches in Columbus right now in terms of quarterbacks.
They really do.
And the first time somebody does something wrong, they're going to say, give me the other guy. And so I'm not saying it's a negative. I'm just saying it could turn into a negative potentially. And so Braxton Miller, why sit around and deal with that? I mean, you could go to somewhere like an Alabama or an LSU where I think in either case he'd be an immediate starter, and immediately they ups their chances to win a national championship. So I think it makes a lot of sense. You're going to get a ton of exposure.
No different Russell Wilson leaving NC State to go to Wisconsin.
Sure.
Spring game crowds, we just mentioned Auburn, Alabama. Georgia comes in at third at 46,815. Then it drops off considerably. Missouri, 30,000. South Carolina, 22,500. Mississippi State, 21,500. Florida at 21,000. LSU and Ole Miss at 15,000. Mississippi State at 13,000. And Vanderbilt with 5,000. Texas A&M and Kentucky did not conduct a fan scrimmage. Tennessee and Arkansas will scrimmage this Saturday.
Well, let me say this, okay? That
LSU, 15,000.
Well, I buy that. I mean, really, if you know anything about LSU, that's kind of the way this thing rolls with them.
Yep.
I mean, if they're doing well, their crowd is as ravenous and the most electric place in all of college football. I have no doubt about that. Mm-hmm. If they're doing mediocre to subpar,
they leave.
You can hit a 9-iron in that place.
In the game.
Yeah. Oh,
during the game. Okay.
I have been there and seen people leave. Now, this is when they weren't even playing Alabama. They were playing Florida. And I've seen people leave with 10 minutes to go. Now, I left with 10 minutes to go against Auburn, but we were down 14-0. I didn't want to see any more sacks.
Yeah, so, well, what were you about to say there just a minute
ago?
Well,
that if you want, okay, Alabama's numbers, I believe, were inflated. I believe Auburn's numbers were definitely inflated. I know Florida's numbers were inflated, and they only had 21,000. It looked like
ghost town.
People were spring breaking in Des Moines, Iowa. I mean, there was nobody there. I mean, I
saw the picture,
and I'm going to tell you something. I mean, God bless Florida. I almost wish Will Muschamp had come back for one more year, because I'm telling you, this thing is so deep. Jim McElwain may regret taking this gig right now.
He is.
I mean, they already had one big arrest here recently, and the talent just doesn't appear to be there, and the leadership is also what's lacking. It's going to be interesting to see how this team comes back. Somebody did a stock report Saturday down south, maybe somewhere like that, and most every team in the SEC was up. But they had Florida at even, and if you're even with their losing record they had last year, that ain't good.
No, it's not good at all. Up against a break, give us a call, 256-234-6464, 1-800-782-0108. Stay tuned. More Sportz Blitz Live presented by JR's and SNS Tire right after this.
Beethoven had 32 sonatas.
At Hyundai of Auburn, we have 122 Sonatas. So 90 must go now. We'll give you the same pricing that supplier employees get. A-Plan.
Beethoven composed great music.
Hyundai of Auburn composes great deals. You want $2,000 cash back? Got it. 0% interest? Sure. Total savings as much as $4,800? No payments for 90 days? Why not?
32 sonatas were the perfect number.
So 90 Hyundai of Auburn Sonatas must go now.
In a world that's ever-changing, you have to be sure that your choices are the right choices. At Central Alabama Community College, you'll know you made the best choice. Whether choosing a technical degree program, taking courses to transfer to a four-year college or university, or being a part of our national championship winning traditions, get a sharper focus on your life by choosing one of our 3 convenient locations: Alex City, Childersburg, and Talladega. Central Alabama Community College. Central to you, central to your success.
Don't you know there's no clean like Peaches and Clean?
Wow, your carpets look fantastic.
Yeah, thanks to Peaches and Clean.
They look new again.
They also clean my kitchen tile.
Simply amazing. I'm calling Peaches and Clean today.
Just call 502-5326. Oh yeah, they have an area rug cleaning facility too.
Peaches and Clean is now expanded to the Alexander City Lake Martin Market. Give them a call at 334-502-5326.
Call us up at Peaches and Clean.
What's the #1 pontoon in the world for look and performance? It's Manitou. With V-Tune technology that delivers more speed and dominates handling, all with the comfort, style, and luxury that tops the pontoon industry. Lakeside Marina on Lake Martin is the #1 Manitou pontoon dealer in the state of Alabama, with superior pricing and service after the sale. Get invoice pricing on remaining 14s and see the 15 models in stock. And Lakeside is your Kawasaki personal watercraft dealer with a huge selection. Make sure to see our new used super center up the road and find out why Lakeside Marina is #1 for a reason. For over 30 years, Tallapoosa Ford has been your family-owned auto dealer for hot trucks and SUVs. Now they're raising the bar even higher. The Ford F-150 has been the best-selling truck in America for the last 38 years. And the hot new 15s are hitting the scene, and Tallapoosa Ford and Ford trucks are #1 for a reason. America's best truck, combined with our award-winning service department for the region's best warranty work and great maintenance and service.
Hello, this is Jeff with Tallapoosa Ford. Ford trucks have led America's truck sales. Come by today and get your best deal on America's best truck. We don't want all the business, just the opportunity to earn yours.
This segment of Sportz Blitz is brought to you by Dark Insurance, offering insurance for all your personal needs, including auto, boat, homeowners, and disability. Don't be in the dark. Call Dark Insurance at 256-234-5026.
Welcome back, everyone, to Sports Blitz Live, presented by JR Sports Bar and Grill and SNS Discount Tire. Give us a call, 256-234-6464, 1-800-782-0108 here in our Player of the Week segment here that we will feature 4 individual high school athletes, Luke, from different regions of the state of Alabama for their superlatives this week. We'll start with the Sports Blitz AHSAA Radio Network Player of the Week, sponsored by Russell Building Supply and Russell Do-It Centers throughout central Alabama. 9 great locations. Make sure you call on them for your home improvement needs. Peter Hartman from Mountain Brook, the tennis program, helped Mountain Brook capture the first AHSA Class 7A Boys Tennis Championship today at Montgomery's Lagoon Park. Spartans ended Vestavia Hill's 4-year reign as the champion of the state's largest classification. So, Peter Hartman, Mountain Brook Tennis, congratulations on winning that 7A Boys Championship.
Okay, first of all, before I get into this, I want to say Dark Insurance Agency, the sponsor of this segment. I've had some dealings with them here recently because they're my insurer, and man, you talk about awesome. They're very responsive. Truly do appreciate them. Emily is the one I've been dealing with over there the most lately, and she's just been fabulous. Really do appreciate all their help. Now, let's move on to LMG Baker, or LMG Marketing Group. Lake Martin Area Player of the Week, and that's Philip Speak, who had a goal to help the Wildcats defeat Pelham, the #2 team in the state, last Thursday night, 3-1. What about the other 2 dudes who had goals?
I mean, I guess they didn't.
His goal was pretty.
His goal was a lot more electrifying. Let's just put it that way. Sportz Blitz Montgomery Area Player of the Week, Brady Green from St. James High School, brought to you by Cruise Planners. Rudalisa Anderson, exclusivecruiseplanners.com for your next vacation call on Rudalisa Anderson. Brady Green helped St. James defeat Clark County 7-1 in Game 1 thanks to his performance on the mound, and in Game 2, his RBI single in the ninth inning of the game helped the Trojans to a series-clinching 7-5 victory. Brady Green from St. James, congratulations, Montgomery Area Player of the Week.
The LMG Baker Lee County Player of the Week is Grace Wang of Auburn Girls Golf. She shot a 77 as the Auburn Girls Golf team defeated Hoover for the first time this season, 235-237, to place first at the UMS Wright Invitational played at Heron Lake Country Club in Mobile.
That's our Players of the Week here, and I want to thank all of our sponsors for allowing us to be able to name these great athletes throughout the state of Alabama, and again, just a ton of great athletes that we're able to highlight each and every week from around the state of Alabama. I want to say something real quick. Just got a text. Dable baseball wins 8-6, and they advance on to the next round. So congratulations to Dable High School. And of course, you Ben won earlier from this area, so excited to talk about that. I want to thank Kevin Keel for sending us that updated score there on Dable baseball. Let's go to the phone lines. You're on Sportz Blitz, caller.
Hey, how you doing?
Good. How are you doing?
Good. I got a question here about Gus's. Just one little simple question. And the question is, do you think Gus Malzahn fell into the offense that he was running with Cam? Or because it seemed like he's trying to get away from the running quarterback, in my opinion. So it looked like he's trying to go to the offense he ran, I guess, in high school, because I didn't see no zone read in high school. I saw passing, spread attack. And it seems like with the quarterbacks that we are recruiting, look like he's trying to go back to that kind of offense. But do he realize, I'm asking you, that his cup of tea from the offense that he was running with Cam and Nick Marsh and all of them, wouldn't you, if you were Gus, have the element of the running quarterback to go along with your offense, that what makes your offense the best, one of the best offenses in the country, didn't they just go strictly, technically, like a little passing offense that looked like where we're heading? Because if you look at the quarterbacks we have, you got Jeremy Johnson, who's not going to, go 80 yards. You got Sean White, whatever his name, White. He's not going to go 80 yards. You got number 15. He's not going to scare no defense, with the running. So my question to you guys is this. It's simple.
Tyler Queen, by the way, on number 15. Just thought I'd throw his name out.
Queen, right. So if Gus is going to a passing offense, would the passing offense scare you more than a running quarterback that you done had in the past? With Nick Saban, I'm going to use Nick Saban. Would Nick Saban be afraid of a quarterback that can run a 4.3, 4.4, 4.5, can fly? Or he going to be scared of a passing quarterback that he can blitz and do everything? I'm saying, is Gus Malzahn, did he fall into that offense with Cam Newton and Nick Marsh and the running backs from Arkansas? Or is he trying to get back to his real offense, which is the spread pass? Answer that, please. Thank you.
Thank you, James.
Well, let me just say this. Now, and James can call back, but Jeremy Johnson ran a 4.51. He just talked about that. That's not his first option. But Jeremy Johnson can run the football. I've watched him, Luke. You watched him for 4 years in high school. And he can move. He can run. He can get out on the perimeter. It's deceiving because he's so tall. Actually, his speed is very comparable to what Cam Newton ran when he was at Auburn. So is that what we want out of him as a quarterback? Probably not. He is more of a prolific passer. He's got a tremendous arm, very strong arm. There is no quarterback controversy at Auburn. I mean, they went on real shockingly, named him starter, yesterday. So nobody's shocked by that. But I don't know what Gus Malzahn's wanting to do. I think he's wanting to go with what he feels like that quarterback at that particular time can execute the best.
Well, a couple of things. First of all, Gus Malzahn's been head coach for 2 years. He had Nick Marshall for 2 years. And one time it worked really well. Last year it didn't work so great. I mean, Auburn underachieved 1 year and overachieved another year. The truth may be somewhere in the middle, and maybe he does want to be there. And about Jeremy Johnson, yes, he runs a 4.5. I think he's got very legit speed. But I think James's point is somewhat valid in the sense that just because you run a 4.5 doesn't mean you're a runner. You could also run a 4.7 and be a heck of a running back. It's about instincts. And I think that the instincts for Jeremy Johnson are to be a passer first. If I'm telling you right now, I would much rather Alabama make Jeremy Johnson run than allow him to pass. Ain't no doubt about that.
Yep.
And I personally would rather face Nick Marshall all day than face, meaning a running quarterback, than I would face a deadly passing quarterback. Mm-hmm. That's the way I look at it. I know you can blitz him. I know you can.
That's right, but just because somebody blitzes doesn't mean the quarterback's going down. I mean,
it also leads to opportunity.
It does. It does lead to opportunity in the secondary. So I think Auburn feels good about their position. Jeremy Johnson, he's bided his time. This is his team. He'll have an opportunity to prove what he can do on the field. I mean, we've already seen flashes. First half against an Arkansas team that wasn't great, but he had to start the season. Everybody was new. You don't know how that's ever going to work out. You don't know what's going to happen there. He also played a full game pretty much when Nick Marshall went down a couple of years ago. He was there to step in. So it's not like he doesn't have any in-game experience, not a lot, but he does have some. Hey, look, James, I'm excited about Jeremy Johnson. A lot of people have been waiting to see him on the field. I'm excited not because I'm an Auburn fan. I'm excited because I've been able to watch what he's been able to do at the high school level for Carver. And when Luke and I went over to that Auburn game in the first round of the playoffs, Carver got down 17 points, and he just calmly brought Carver back, and he was a freshman that year. I mean, that's just what he's been made of. That's been his makeup his entire career. He doesn't get shaken. He's got that air of confidence you want your quarterback to have, especially in the SEC, and he's got some good pieces around him. He's got a great offensive line. I think the H-back position, which is very key to what you were talking about, Luke, why Auburn's offense didn't work as well this year as it did 2 years ago, it's because Auburn couldn't find that mix to help with that extra blocker. So that's just some of the things that my take on it, and we'll see how it all plays out. Caller, go ahead. You're on Sportz Blitz.
Yeah, I'm not down on Jeremy. I'm saying I like Jeremy, but I'm just saying, look like to me, from a scheme standpoint, if your offense has been pretty good the last 3 or 4 years with a running quarterback / pass, and now you got 3 quarterbacks on your roster, and neither one of them, all of them just pass. So I'm saying now you do not have that element of the running quarterback.
It's not a run first offense, James, this year. You're right. It's not going to be, because that's not Jeremy Johnson's makeup. Now Sean White can run the football. He didn't show it in the A-Day game. Jeremy Johnson can run the football. It's not going to be the read option run Nick Marshall type offense or Cam Newton that we've been seeing, because Jeremy Johnson, with all those quarterbacks that I just named, is a lot better passer right now than any of those are or were in college.
I understand that. That ain't my issue. My thing is, why is Gus going with all passing quarterbacks?
You'll have to ask him that. I don't know.
You know what I'm saying? I'm saying if you've been successful with a running quarterback, and all of a sudden you got 3 quarterbacks on your roster, and all of them just passed.
Well, Cam did throw for over 2,000 yards the year he was there.
I'm talking about the element of a running quarterback, Brett.
I get you.
There's nothing
there is an element of run for Jeremy. It's not like he is concrete block feet back there in the pocket and can't move. I mean, they are going. You'll see as the season progresses, James, that there'll be an element of that involved. If he doesn't see what he needs to see downfield, he's going to be given the green light to tuck it and run.
And James, how exactly successful was it last year?
Maybe I'm not saying it right.
No, I understand what you're saying, that he's recruited 3 primary passing quarterbacks versus Nick Marshall. Well, Nick Marshall was a defensive back that turned into a quarterback. I think that just happened to play out for Auburn for him to be in that position. Cam Newton is a one-of-a-kind guy. Cam Newton is a Heisman Trophy winning player that threw for over 2,000 yards and rushed for over 1,000 and scored bukus of touchdowns. I mean, those guys don't come around every day. I think you go and recruit the best guy that you have or the best quarterback you can get in that particular class. In the last 2 years, it's just happened to be Jeremy Johnson and Sean White.
But I'm saying, if something's been working for you, if something's been working for you, why would you just go?
James, has it been working? Auburn went 8-5 last year and lost to a very slow Wisconsin team. I mean, I don't necessarily know that it's been working.
You said it wasn't the offense. The defense couldn't stop Melvin Gordon.
Well, the offense didn't score enough points. I mean, the offense didn't.
Actually, Auburn's best chance to beat Alabama last year was through the air. I mean,
they had the element of the run.
We did run the football with our tailbacks pretty well, but they didn't let Nick Marshall run the football very much. Nick Marshall didn't have a tremendous running. Nick Marshall didn't run the ball. Look, they took the running quarterback away from Auburn's offense last year. Most teams did. Mississippi State did.
With the quarterback.
Nobody's mad here. We're just trying to understand what you're saying.
I'm just saying, as a casual fan.
I don't have any answers, James. I don't.
If you are a casual fan, just looking in, and you see Auburn doing very well up under Gus Malzahn with this type of offense, and all of a sudden now he's changing pretty much completely to a passing offense, I'm just saying that as a casual fan. I don't mind it. I like Jeremy. I like Shaw. I like White. Matter of fact, number 15 looked pretty good to me on A-Day game. But I'm just saying, I would like to have the element of a running quarterback.
Well, James, hey, we better run, James. Well, thank you for the call, but we'll address it some more.
Yeah.
But if I can learn how to do that, however I did it. But I think, look, everybody would love a quarterback who can run a 4.5, is dynamic, elusive, and can also throw an 80-yard out. I mean, everybody would love that,
exactly
but it's not, not everybody can have it. And I feel like, again,
I think
he's getting caught up in semantics because, I mean, maybe Gus Malzahn looked around and said, 8-5 ain't good enough. I mean,
it's not
change
good
something.
enough. Well, it's not good enough. And look, I'll be the first to say that as an Auburn fan, if you look at the 2013 season, was a tremendous season. A lot of things had to go right. Auburn could have easily been 8-5 that year. I'm saying it from an Auburn standpoint. There's been years Alabama went 10-2, could have easily gone 7-5. You get things that happen to fall your way in games, and last year it didn't fall for Auburn. The year before it did. Now, it didn't work out for us in the national championship game. We had it with 1 minute and 19 seconds to go, but our defense, lack of being able to play solid defense, finally bit us in the rear end in that national championship game. Can't hold on for 1 minute and 19 seconds and keep Florida State out of the end zone. But as a coach, Luke, Nick Saban, Gus Malzahn, Urban Meyer, whoever it is going to go after the best quarterbacks and best running backs and best wide receivers that in the class. I mean, top 20 programs are going to go after the best players. Some years that might be a running guy. Some years that might be a passing guy. Jeremy Johnson was the top-rated passer or top-rated quarterback in the state of Alabama. Alabama and Auburn both wanted him. Auburn won that battle. So you go to what the strengths are. I mean, I see, James, trust me. I do understand what you're saying, and you're saying that it appears that Gus Malzahn is transitioning from a run-first type quarterback read option to a prolific passing guy. Maybe this is where he wanted to be the whole time. Maybe he took Nick Marshall in the short term and said, this is what I got to do with him for us to be successful. That's what good coaches do a lot of times. I'm just speculating. I don't know if that's the truth or not. But, I mean, that's my theory.
Could be. I mean, again, I just don't see.
Because Nick Marshall's not a prolific passer.
Well, and let's just see what happens. I mean, maybe there wasn't a quarterback out there who was dynamic enough to do exactly what some of these other quarterbacks did. I mean, again, it's not as if – I mean, I don't think I'd look at the path last year and say I want to keep doing exactly what we did last year. I mean, that's – well, I mean, I know it's easy to say, okay, we went to the national championship one year, but then you obviously took a step back.
It was disappointing last year. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I don't put all the blame on Nick Marshall's back. I think there were some missing pieces on offense. Cameron Artis-Payne did a great job, but he wasn't Trey Mason. Auburn couldn't find, again, before James called, I was saying – Auburn couldn't find a solution for the H-back position. Well, that's been proven in this offense. That extra blocker makes a huge difference in what you're able to do. We couldn't get anybody to solidify that position. It hurt Auburn. Auburn turned the football over more last year than they did in 2013. They were able to recover a lot of those turnovers in 13. They didn't get them in 14. So year to year to year, you have great teams, but sometimes you don't equal the same results. I mean, on Sports Call, I heard Andy and Randy talk about Alabama's season last year. They went to the playoff. Was it a disappointing season for them, though? I mean,
I can answer that. No. I can answer that unequivocally. So, now, if somebody out there wants to be disappointed because they take the attitude of if we don't win the national championship, we're disappointed. Well, you're going to be disappointed a lot then. You're not going to win it every year.
You're not.
You're not going to win it most every year.
You're not going to go to the playoff every year.
No. And so I think last year was a tremendous success. I mean, it was funny. A mutual friend on Facebook, I posted the Rashaan Evans story from AL.com. And it was, it's kind of a feel-good story because the Evans went through a lot of junk. I mean, they took a lot of grief for committing to Alabama. And so, but he's had a good time. He seems happy. He seems like he's having fun. His brother's coming there to run track and field. And, he's looking for his time to shine this year. And somebody said, well, I hope he enjoyed not winning. I was like, he won an SEC championship. I mean, he went to the playoff, lost to the eventual national championship. Stuff happens. I mean, do you think the 2013 season for Auburn was unsuccessful? No. I would say it was one of the most successful in Auburn history. Yep. And they just happened to lose to Florida State at the last minute. It happens.
It happens. It's just the way the ball bounces. So we're up against the break. When we come back, we'll continue this discussion, talk about some other things on your mind. Stay tuned. More Sportz Blitz Live, presented by JR's and SNS Tire right after this.
2015 is a new year, and the rules for FHA loans have changed.
If you currently have an FHA loan, call Home Place Mortgage today.
Right now, we can refinance your current FHA mortgage without an appraisal.
Your interest rate will reduce, and so will your monthly mortgage insurance.
Call us today to start saving in 2015.
If you've been seriously injured in a car wreck or a truck wreck, don't let the insurance company knock you out without taking responsibility for your medical expenses, pain and suffering, and car repair. You need a fighter. I'm a former Golden Glove champion, and I will fight for you to get the money you deserve. Call Tripp and put a fighter in your corner.
Call the Walton Law Firm at 334-321-3000 or toll free at 866-321-3330. Put a fighter in your corner.
No representation is made that the quality of legal services to be provided is greater than that of other attorneys. Don't let pests take your house or business over. Wave the red flag. Red Flag Pest, owned and operated by Scott Davis on Highway 280 in Jackson's Gap, is licensed, insured, and bonded, and serves the Lake Martin area, specializing in lake homes, residential property, and industrial property. Call for a free inspection today, 256-825-0430, and visit us online at redflagpestcontrol.com. Red Flag Pest Control, when the problem has to stop, guaranteed.
Define the fabric of a team. It's not selfish. It's not boastful. It's about many, sewn together to reach one common goal. But in order to win, you must learn to work together.
It's a great time to buy a new car at McKelvey Chevrolet. Come by and check out the huge selection of new trucks and cars at McKelvey's new location on Highway 280 in Dadeville. We have an awesome new lot filled with new trucks, cars, and SUVs. Are you in the market for a new Silverado truck? The selection is huge, and so are the savings. Buyer rebates and incentives will make buying your new vehicle easier and more affordable than you think. Come on out, see the new friendly staff at the all-new McKelvey Chevrolet on Highway 280 in Dadeville. Your Lake Martin area Chevrolet dealer since 1956.
Hello, I'm Russell Building Supply.
And I'm the big box store.
Box, I don't mean to cut you short, but I've got a delivery to make.
A delivery?
Yeah, Russell delivers anywhere in the local area for free, usually on the same day, and that's on top of our low price guarantee.
Really? Free? Are you kidding me?
No, and if you prefer to pick the order up yourself, we'll load it for free.
And on the same day?
Yeah, we're really good at working on short lead times. How about you?
Yeah, I'm short.
Serving Lake Martin and Central Alabama.
Welcome back to Sportz Blitz Live, presented by JR Sports Bar and Grill. SNS Discount Tire, Brett Pritchard and Luke Robinson here with you till 9 o'clock. Give us a call, 256-234-6464, 1-800-782-0108. Let's talk about Auburn's A-Day game. Obviously, Jeremy Johnson was named starting quarterback yesterday. Not a shock there. It kind of eliminates all that controversial talk, and they'll head into fall camp knowing who their number one guy is. I thought Sean White did play a pretty good ball game. He was a tremendous talent coming out of high school, was the MVP of the Under Armour All-American game when he played in that. I thought Tyler Queen, showed off his arm, showed that he can move around as a mobile guy. Excited about the possibility of him. Some other guys that were interesting, I thought, at the running back position, Javon Robinson, but obviously Rock Thomas came out and showed that he's put on some weight. He's a little bit stronger. Defensively, Trey Matthews back there had a pick, showed why he's an all-SEC caliber guy. Back there in the secondary, of course, just like Alabama, Auburn held several guys out. Alex Kozan did not participate. Carl Lawson did not participate. Auburn will have the addition of several top-ranking freshmen that will come in fall camp, and that'll definitely contribute, I think, just like Alabama will with some of the guys they've got coming in. So a lot of guys sitting out, gave other guys opportunities to make plays and see what they could do. But overall, I thought, Auburn is an 8-day games, what you get out of it. You're going to see superlatives. You're going to see some guys that you thought probably could have played a little bit better. I want to remind everybody, when Cam Newton took the field for Auburn on 8-day, everybody started going, "Ooh, this isn't going to be very good. This isn't the guy we thought he was going to be." And then 7 months later, he won the Heisman Trophy. So you just don't know. A lot of times you can't base a lot on what's happened. Luke said it, the hay's in the barn by that time. It's really just a show for the fans.
Yeah, I mean, again, I just don't take a ton from it. I know I listened yesterday, a lot of sports talk radio was talking about the 24-14 score, and it's the lowest point in the Miles On era. Do you know how much nothing that means? I mean, they controlled the score. I mean, I was about to tell a story during the break.
They have situations, yeah.
We ran out of time. Mike Price, when he first got to Alabama, his spring game, well, I say first got to Alabama like he was there a long time. He was there about 15 minutes. But his spring game, I believe the final score was 47-0 in favor of the Crimson over the White or something like that. And that was all purposeful. He wanted people to think, this group is about to be dynamic offensively. And of course, that wasn't the case at all. Even if he had been there, they may have been a little better, but it wasn't going to be great regardless. But it told you absolutely nothing. I remember then hating the situation. I mean, just because you don't get to see exactly what's going on, and that's why A-days are all overrated in general. It's all about the day as a festivity, not so much about the game
it's
itself.
Everything that kind of surrounds it.
I don't think that the low score means that Auburn's defense has improved any more than the low score means Auburn's offense has gotten any worse. It just doesn't mean anything.
You can't read anything into it. Some superlatives from Auburn's A-Day. The Mark Dormany Defensive MVP award went to Trey Matthews. The Lionel James Offensive MVP went to Myron Burton. Thought he really, if there was a guy that stood out that a lot of people didn't know about, it was number 84, Myron Burton. He played a pretty good game. Duke Williams had some great catches, but Myron Burton kind of showed off in the game. Of course, Duke Williams doesn't have anything to prove. I mean, why is he going to go out there and try to pull up a bunch of stats in an A-Day game? It does him no good at all. Quarterback numbers, Johnson was 14 of 22, 252 yards, 2 touchdowns. Most of that in the first half. Sean White, 15 of 19, 109 yards. Tyler Queen, 4 of 6, 57 yards, a TD, and an interception. Tucker Tuberville got in the game, 2 of 3, 17 yards, had a pretty good run in there. Running backs, Rock Thomas, 7 carries, 69 yards, 2 touchdowns. Javon Robinson, only 6 carries for 19 yards. That doesn't mean anything. He's going to be the starting running back. Peyton Barber, 9 carries, 46 yards. Myron Burton had 7 catches, 124 yards, a touchdown. Ricardo Lewis, 3 catches, 64 yards, and it kind of falls off there. Duke Williams only had 2 catches, but for 45 yards and a touchdown. Also, Jason Smith, 3 catches, but only 4 yards. On the defensive side of things, we have a caller.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we'll go to the phone line, and we'll come back, and I'll run down the rest of those defensive stats. Caller, go ahead. You're on Sportz Blitz.
Hello.
How are you doing?
I'm doing just fine. I just like a little comment on the Auburn team.
Okay.
And I'm a true Auburn fan, but I just like to say this. We're talking about Johnson comparing. Johnson is a good quarterback, and I think he made the right decision because he can run and throw. And if we got a quarterback that is better than the one last year, that automatically make us better. And he was a great quarterback. I think our defense going to be better. We're going to be better at offense, and I'm like you. I was disappointed in our season because I'm an Auburn fan, and quite naturally, I want to win them all. But on the 2013 season, now this is just my opinion, but I really thought if we had kept blitzing instead of going to prevent with that minute 19, we would have won the ball game. So that's not my choice. That's always their coach's choice to call it. But I truly believe in that. But we're going to have a great season, and all them haters just sit back and have a good ride with us. Kowaliga.
Thank you so much. Great call. We appreciate it, okay?
Thank you.
Thank you so much. And you can give us a call as well. 256-234-6464, 1-800-782-0108 to be part of the program. Your thoughts on Alabama and Auburn heading into the season. I want to finish up here on defense. Cornerback Michael Sherwood had 7 tackles, 6 solos. That's a name that not any Auburn fans really knew. Trey Matthews, 5 tackles, a forced fumble, and an interception. Like I said, earned defensive MVP. Markel Boston's a guy a lot of people were interested to see. He had 7 tackles, along with Kenny Flowers from the linebacker post at 7 tackles. So there's you some information on Auburn's superlatives in that ball game. Again, A-Days are for fans. It's an opportunity to come out, see your team play, mix it up. Majority of starters for Auburn didn't even get in the game in the second half. So that, you can't take that score and put any merit into it at all. And watching Nick Saban and watching Gus Malzahn, they'll stop the play and put a situation in. No, we're not going to punt right there, keep offense out here one more play. I want to see this. I want to see how that operates or how he's going to react in this situation. So, it's a time for them to kind of evaluate, like Luke said, maybe Lane Kiffin wanted to throw the ball a lot more to see what they could do because there's a real game-type situation and they're going full speed. So let's see who can cut the mustard.
And I think that's the way it should be. I don't really want to go out there and see a real game.
It's a scrimmage. It's one of their 15 allotted practices for the spring football. So you use it that way.
It's not a telltale of how you're going to do next season. It's just not. It has no bearing. So, it's so funny to listen to people afterwards say, you can judge people individually and see how they've grown. You can obviously look at Rock Thomas and say, he's put on good weight. That's a good thing. You can look at some other players and say, they're still not getting it.
Yeah.
It's just the way it goes. It's the game itself means nothing.
It doesn't. We're up against the break. When we come back, Brian Passink with the Alabama broadcast team for basketball will be on the program during the Bama Blitz segment. Don't go anywhere. Stay tuned. More Sportz Blitz Live, presented by JR's and SNS Discount Tire right after this.
If you haven't been to Big B Barbecue in Alex City, then you're missing the best barbecue around. Big B has everything from the best pulled or chopped pork, chicken, and beef to cheeseburgers and grilled chicken salads. Bring your friends and family out for a great dinner and sit outside on our beautiful patio, or sit inside and enjoy your meal by the fireplace. So come in and join us and enjoy the best barbecue in the area only at Big B Barbecue, located on Highway 22 West in Alex City.
Arctic Air and Heat, located in Jackson Gap on Highway 280. Mr. Darryl Kazai invites you to call him. Now, folks, the cold weather's coming. That's a fact. Now, he is your rain dealer. That's RHEEM. His number is 256-794-4341. That's Darryl Kazai. Ask him about central heating and air. Central heating and air. That's 256-794-4341. Kazaya. Darryl Kazaya.
Over the years, SNS Tire has grown into the Lake Martin area's largest volume tire dealer. SNS Tire offers the industry's best brand names: Michelin, Goodyear, BF Goodrich, Uniroyal, Firestone, and much, much more. The tire pros at SNS offer professional installation and the region's best price. In addition to your tire needs, SNS offers full automotive mechanical work for all your vehicle maintenance and repair needs with the area's most experienced staff. Visit either of our 2 locations on Cherokee Road in Alex City or at South Street in Dadeville. At SNS Tire, we're installing peace of mind for every customer we serve. Every job, every day.
When a medical issue requires home health service, you or your loved one should expect the best.
Hello, this is Pam Tidwell with Lake Martin Home Health. We make everything we do all about you. With multiple offices in the area, we are always close to you, and our dedication is 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Call us at 256-397-1440 or ask your physician for a Lake Martin Home Health referral today. We make the difference because we care.
Brown Nursing Home is welcoming the new year with an expansion of our rehab department to include an additional treatment room and addition of a full kitchen. We offer physical, occupational, and speech therapy. If a serious injury or illness has taken you away from home, let our therapy team assist you in returning home to independent living. We also offer long-term skilled nursing care. Come tour Brown Nursing Home at 2334 Washington Street in Alexander City.
Hello, I'm State Farm Agent Karen Chanel. I specialize in helping families and individuals like yourself in the Alexander City and Lake Martin communities. With over 20 years experience with State Farm and a dynamic team of licensed professionals, I am committed to helping you manage the risk of everyday life. And we not only consider it an honor, but a privilege to assist you in meeting your insurance and financial services needs. I sincerely look forward to hearing from you. Thank you.
Bama Blitz, brought to you by Bradbury Medical Center, offering durable medical equipment, including wheelchairs, oxygen, hospital beds, and more. 256-215-8654.
Welcome back into Sportz Blitz Live with the Bradbury Medical Center Alabama Blitz. Want to welcome in my good friend Brian Passink, the color commentator for the Crimson Tide Sports Network. Brian, how are you tonight?
Doing great, Luke. How are you?
Doing really well. Man, I've seen your picture. We've got one of your older pictures up there. You look so svelte up there. That's a good picture we got of you, by the way. Just letting you know. I should get an updated picture is what I mean.
It's good.
Well, Alabama's got a new basketball coach. That's a good thing. So far, how has Avery Johnson been received in Tuscaloosa?
Well, about as well as a new coach could be. I haven't seen excitement like this in Tuscaloosa for basketball in a number of years. So a lot of people are excited about Avery Johnson, including myself, and I think there's good reason for this excitement level with what he was able to accomplish as not just an NBA player and an NBA champion, but as a head coach in the NBA and was the coach of the year, took his team, the Dallas Mavericks, to the NBA Finals. So a lot of optimism in Tuscaloosa over basketball, and I'm looking forward to getting the season started.
Thoughts on the new assistant hire, Bob Simon? He comes over from Providence. He apparently has a lot of connections in this state and with a lot of the AAU circuit in these parts. That's got to be a good thing for recruiting, right?
No doubt. And I don't know. I didn't know Bob Simon, and but I've heard a lot about him since he's come on staff, and he has a lot of respect nationally as a assistant coach, as a tactician. But especially as a recruiter, and that's the name of the game in college athletics. You got to be able to get players. And so far, I really like what Avery Johnson's done. I mean, you look at keeping Antoine Petway, a guy who has gotten players consistently over the last 6-7 years at Alabama, to keep him and then bring in a guy like Coach Simon is important. It'll be interesting to see who else Avery brings on his staff, because that is something that we've all been looking to as a key to his success, and so far he's done a great job in assembling his staff.
Well, speaking of getting players, Alabama got a good one last week in Dazon Ingram when they secured his recommitment, and he did sign the papers. That's a very big pickup, for, if you ask me, because I'm thinking, look, this isn't necessarily a program maker or a program breaker, but Alabama teams historically have always been made up of kids like Dazon Ingram, if you ask me, so I think this is a big pickup.
Well, I think it's huge to get him, and anytime you have a coaching change and transition, you're going to lose some guys off the team, you're going to lose some recruits, and Dazon Ingram was a guy that I was really hoping we could keep, had a chance to watch him play in the Final Four in the high school playoffs at Birmingham, and he's a terrific talent at 6'5", 6'6", a point guard, can handle it, can defend, can really distribute it. Is getting better as a shooter, and he's somebody that I think is going to have an excellent college career. So it's important for Alabama to get that recommitment to one of the best players, not just in the state of Alabama, but in the Southeast. And he's a guy that I think can really help immediately next year in Coleman Coliseum.
And you mentioned losing other players. That seems to be an epidemic this year in college basketball. Alabama has lost Devin Mitchell. He's going to Georgia State. They've lost Ricky Tarrant. He's traveling to Memphis to finish up his playing career, I guess. This will be the end of his playing career. But there's so many transfers this year, and it seems to grow exponentially every year. Do you think this is a real problem for college basketball?
I do. I think it is an epidemic, and when you look at the numbers, they're staggering. I mean, in Division I men's basketball, just in the back half of the year, just half a year, there's been 450 transfers, and close to 1,600 over the course of the last 3 years. So this is something that not just Alabama is having to deal with, but every program, just about every program across the country. And you look at a guy like Ricky Tarrant, who's from the state, who will now go to his third college in his career. Started at Tulane, came back to his home state, Alabama, and had a really good year before he got hurt. Was Alabama's leading scorer in conference games before he got hurt. And for him to leave before his senior season, a guy that obviously was getting playing time, obviously was getting shots, really, disappointing, kind of a strange situation. But when you take a look around college basketball, I guess you shouldn't be surprised with this sort of thing. But really disappointed for Ricky, and thought he probably should have come back for his senior season.
A good friend of mine, Jimmy Stein, had a great line. He said, this Alabama team really could use a dynamic scoring, shooting guard who's got a lot of point guard skills. I wonder if Ricky Tarrant would transfer back to Alabama. But it's not going to work out. One more question, Brian, and I know you get asked this by your lovely bride Maggie all the time. Regarding the Alabama basketball program, What would Brian Passink do to make it better?
The program?
Yeah. You know, Maggie asks you that all the time. WWBPD, what would Brian Passink do? I know she does.
Well, I think she asked me where we're going, what tournaments we're playing in. Are we playing in Maui or St. Thomas? Those are the questions I'm getting from my wife. But you know, but what you could do to make this program better is what the administration has done, and that's get the right leadership in. I think Avery Johnson is a guy that's coming in not just with credentials as a head coach, but I like what I'm hearing from him in terms of marketing, in terms of making Coleman Coliseum a much more difficult place to play, game operations, you know, the atmosphere in Coleman Coliseum, really making it one of the best venues in the country. And, you know, those are things that can help you in all aspects. It makes it tough for opponents to come into your home court. It also makes it attractive for recruits. You know, when you're a high school player, you want to play in an environment that's exciting, that's full, and it has energy in it. And unfortunately for Alabama, the last several years, Coleman Coliseum has not been a place that has those attributes. So hopefully moving forward, that'll be the case. I think there's going to be some changes to Coleman Coliseum and the seating and trying to get the students a little closer to the floor to create more atmosphere. And those are things that I think are overdue and really needed to create that type of environment.
Any word on scheduling for next year? I know that's something I bug you about all the time, but Alabama's got that tournament in Orlando, I believe, and there are a lot of big names, including Wichita State and Greg Marshall being in that field. Any other news out there that you can share with us?
I don't have any news as of now, but this is the time of year where you get your schedule in place. And Alabama has that tournament in Orlando, and it's going to be a fun one. We played in it, I guess, 5 or 6 years ago. And, you know, for Alabama fans that haven't traveled to these pre-conference tournaments, I would encourage you, I would encourage your listeners to come to Orlando. I mean, right there in Disney World, in the wide world of sports, we took our family, I think it was 6 years ago, had an unbelievable time over Thanksgiving week, went to Disney World, watched some great college basketball. It's going to be another great tournament this year. So, you know, that's going to be a big part of the non-conference slate. And then also, I know they're trying to get things scheduled right now. It'll be interesting to see what kind of schedule Avery Johnson puts together. That's something he didn't have to do in the NBA. The schedule was handed to him. So with a team that lost a lot off of last year's squad, I'll be interested to see what type of schedule Alabama has.
Yeah, that's a great point about scheduling, and a lot of other great points too, Brian. Thank you so much for joining us tonight.
All right, thanks a lot, Lou.
That was Brian Passink, the color commentator for the Alabama Crimson Tide. Always does a fantastic job when he joins us. We'll be back in just a minute with more Sportz Blitz Live.
Lee Marketing Group is proud to announce their recent alliance with Baker Street Advertising based in Opelika, Alabama. Now more than ever, it's important to develop a marketing plan that creates a compelling message, deploys that message, and analyzes metrics to optimize performance. LMG Baker strengthens our mission to help businesses market to their potential. Contact Randy Lee Jr. 256-750-5951 or visit our website, leemarketing.net.
Spring fever is on at Alex City Marine in Alex City and Alex City Marine South on the corner of 229 and 63. Now get absolute invoice pricing on remaining 2014 Landau pontoons and see our huge stock of 15 Landau pontoons in store. And you still have time to order yours to spec. Alex City Marine has the fever, and if you need to repower, they're your Suzuki, Mercury, and Honda outboard dealer with any size outboard and the industry's best performance and reliability. Go with the pros the locals know. Alex City Marine and Alex City Marine South.
When it comes to providing the very finest in funeral services, there's one name that stands alone. At Radney's Funeral Home, we take pride in our reputation as one of the leading funeral homes in this part of Alabama. Since 1938, our name has stood for honesty, integrity, and quality. These are the principles that have made Radney's Funeral Home the #1 choice when you want the very finest in funeral service for your family. Radney's Funeral Home, the independent hometown funeral home serving Tallapoosa and surrounding counties.
If you've been seriously injured in a car wreck or a truck wreck, don't let the insurance company knock you out without taking responsibility for your medical expenses, pain and suffering, and car repair. You need a fighter. I'm a former Golden Glove champion, and I will fight for you to get the money you deserve. Call Tripp and put a fighter in your corner.
Call the Walton Law Firm at 334-321-3000 or toll free at 866-321-3330. Put a fighter in your corner.
No representation is made that the quality of legal services to be provided is greater than that of other attorneys.
River Region Sports Fields is a full-service athletic field company servicing the state of Alabama and the Southeast, specializing in construction, laser grading, aerification, top dressing, irrigation, and field drainage of athletic fields of any kind. River Region Sports Fields can manage the entire process of making the perfect athletic field for you. River Region Sports Fields. Give us a call, 205-617-4884, riverregionsportsfields.com.
Don't roll the dice, buy it at Vice.
Don't roll the dice.
Nice price, lowest price.
I bought it at Vice.
Take my advice. Buy it at Vice.
During the award season event at Vice Motors, award-winning vehicles. Drive the most awarded SUV ever, the Jeep Grand Cherokee. Or get the biggest discounts of the year on new 2015 Ram trucks.
Guaranteed lowest price, or we'll pay you the difference in price twice.
BiceChryslerDodge.com.
This segment of Sportz Blitz is brought to you by Russell Do-It Center, offering a complete assortment of lumber, building materials, electrical, and plumbing supplies. Russell Do-It Center stores deliver first-class service, top-rate products, and competitive do-it-best pricing.
Welcome back to Sports Blitz Live, presented by JR Sports Bar and Grill. S&S Discount Tire as well, so we'd love to have you call us tonight, 1-800-782-0108, 256-234-6464. I want to thank Brian for being on the program as always a good guest for us during the Bama Blitz segment of the program. We've got the Auburn Blitz segment coming up a little bit later on in the program. Some great interviews that will be coming your way from Brian Matthews, as well as another interview that will be coming up toward the end of the program. Some top news stuff going on in the world of sports right now. Pacquiao and Mayweather contract 11 days out from the fight. Still hasn't signed the contract.
It's so funny. I can't decide yet if this is a brilliant marketing strategy or just another nail in the coffin, although that coffin has a lot of nails in it when it comes to boxing already. But you know, it could be brilliant in the sense of if you say, okay, we signed the contract a week before the event, you just make the tickets that much hotter.
There's no doubt.
In a sense. Or what if you print the tickets? They hadn't printed the tickets yet is what we're getting down to.
Yeah.
They literally have not printed the tickets. So if you don't print the tickets until 4 days out, I mean, can you imagine all the whales in Vegas who want to go see this? They'll be like, you've got to get me tickets. I don't care what it costs. I mean, it might be like that anyway, but this may cause even more of a fervor. I don't know. In a way, it could work out.
Yeah.
But, I mean, if it worked out, it seems like it'd be accidental.
To me, I think Manny Pacquiao missed his golden opportunity to defeat Floyd Mayweather several years ago when they couldn't come to terms. Since then, he's lost a couple times. It doesn't have the flavors it once did, and it's Manny Pacquiao's promoter, Bob Arum, who has not signed the contract because he said what they sent over to him is not what they agreed to back on April 15th because of the way the thing played out. So he's not signing it, wanting it. So basically they're excluding them from any of the – they're not a signatory on the final copy of the contract, which excludes them from making any decisions of anything that goes on during the match, during the fight, or any kind of audio visuals or any kind of anything that goes on, it kind of leaves them out. So they're like, look, we're not signing it. So it may be a PR stunt. I don't know what it is to draw more attention. They're supposed to fight on May 2nd. That's only, like I said, a few days out. And no tickets have been printed. No contract's been signed. Will the fight even happen? Who knows?
That would be interesting, too, if they didn't get the tickets printed in time. They just
let people in.
They just fought in front of nobody.
Well, that'd be pretty weird.
That'd be pretty weird. It'd be
an empty MGM Grand.
Have you ever been to one a basketball game at the end of a season with two really bad teams and there's nobody in there?
Yes.
And you can really hear all the squeaking and all the and the talk amongst the players on the court.
It's kind of weird.
It's spooky.
It is,
and that's kind of what this would be like.
Or they say, look, you won't be able to get a ticket unless you come to the gate and buy one. You won't think about the mob trying to get in there.
I
mean, so how the lines there trying to get a ticket.
I wish boxing were more awesome again. I really do. And you're right. This fight may have had an opportunity to make it that way, but it's not going to, unfortunately.
Caller, go ahead. You're on Sportz Blitz.
Hey, Brett, Luke, I got one question for you. I just read something about you guys getting Braxton Miller. Is that true? And then for you, Brett, this Bruce Pearl, did we get in his shooting and the scoring? I think scoring over defense any day. And thank you.
Thank you, James. We appreciate it.
Hey.
I hadn't heard any breaking news on Braxton Miller. Have you?
No, there's no breaking news. Although the talk has heated up a lot more. You can tell this was something Nick Saban wanted to shelve if there were any possibility of it until after A-Day. Just why even bring it up? Why let it be one of those distractions he loathes so much? But, yeah, I think it's certainly a possibility. As my friend Jimmy Stein put it, there is a definite possibility of it being probable, but he's not going to bet on it. And I still don't know what he meant. But I believe what he's saying is it's probably 50-50. I mean, you could, if you think he's coming, I do not bank on Braxton Miller's being at Alabama next year, but I am not saying he's not going to be there. I don't think anybody knows at this particular time. But there's been a lot of talk about, I saw Braxton Miller checking out apartments. I don't believe any of that.
And address the Bruce Pearl comment. Scoring. Look, you got to. I mean, yeah, you need to play defense. I think Virginia proved that you can go a long way in college basketball playing great defense, but at the end, if you can't score points, you're not going to win when it counts. And I'm with James. I want to put some points on the board in basketball. And there's some shooters. I think we got some guys that'll be coming in that can contribute. Number 12 recruiting class definitely doesn't hurt matters very much. Let's go back to the phone lines. Caller, go ahead. You're on Sportz Blitz. Hello?
Hello?
Hey.
Yeah. I was wanting to know, I know we ain't on Auburn yet, but do you think Auburn's going to make it to Hoover?
In baseball, I'm going to tell you, this past weekend was a good weekend for Auburn baseball, but, I don't know. It's still 4 more series, I believe, left to play. South Carolina, Florida in there, Alabama as well. We'll just have to wait and see. There's just way too much baseball left, and Auburn's toward the bottom of the standings. I'll try to run those standings down the next segment. Okay?
Yeah, I think they next to the bottom.
Yeah, Auburn and Alabama both sitting down there treading toward the bottom, along with some other teams that we'll talk about. I'll run those standings down for you in baseball, okay?
All right, thanks.
Thank you so much. I do have to say that Alabama's softball team came into Auburn this past weekend, dominated Auburn twice, lost a extra inning matchup. I think Auburn salvaged something out of the series, but Alabama has been a top softball program for a long time, along with Florida. They came into Auburn and embraced that opportunity and took care of business. I mean, I hate to say it, sitting over here, it's hard to stomach because Auburn's got a great softball program. But hey, Auburn's girls got a rude awakening. They've won every series they played against everybody this year. They had a ton of sweeps. They have a very good softball program in Alabama coming into their place, and they get killed the first 2 games. And for them to come back and salvage one game to fight back, they were getting beat 10-5 going into the last inning of that one.
It should have been a sweep, but
should've.
that game was a microcosm of a lot of things Alabama-Auburn. You think about Alabama-Auburn football over the last few years. I mean, Alabama's had some games where they win 49-0, where they're up 42-0 at half. They won 36-0, I believe. They've had, score 55 points. They held Auburn without an offensive touchdown for 2 straight years. But the games people remember are Auburn's comeback of 2010 and the kick six of 2013. I mean, even if Alabama wins in incredible blowout fashion, you don't want to talk about them. I've discussed that before. It's the same way Alabama blew Auburn out twice. And because Auburn came back, that's kind of the talking point. I mean, as an Alabama fan, it gets frustrating, I can tell you.
And I thought of you, and it's ironic that you said that, and I swear this is the honest truth. I thought that you would say exactly that. I said, Luke's going to get on the program with me Tuesday and go, we blew you out twice, and all anybody's talking about is the walk-off win. And it's the truth.
It is
because
exactly
that stole the show at the end of it. It is crazy. It is wild. Caller, go ahead. You're on Sportz Blitz.
Alabama won twice in baseball, 3-1 over Mississippi State. Same game, 16-5.
I mean, he drug.
I like that, man. You got working on that announcer voice. I dig it, Brian. Good job, buddy.
Alabama 5, Troy 2.
In softball, right?
Yep.
Thank
Alabama
you.
will sweep Tennessee at home.
Thank you, Brian. We appreciate it.
Hey,
buddy.
did you enjoy A-Day?
Yeah, I went to it. I saw the Brett boys.
Saw what?
The Brett boys.
Oh, the Brett boys. Okay.
Did you get your picture taken with him?
No Kirby Smart.
No what?
No Kirby Smart?
I saw him.
Oh, you saw Kirby Smart? Yeah, he should have been there. Hey, you going to come out to Willie Carl Martin Day on May 12th?
Where they going to be at?
Central Alabama Community College.
Nick Saban will be there. Terry Saban will be there. Kirby Smart will be there.
You going?
Yeah. I'm hoping to.
Brent?
Doubt it.
Kyle said hello.
Thank you, buddy.
Thank you, Kyle. Appreciate it.
See you, big man.
So, hey, let me just preface this. My kids have a dental appointment in Auburn.
I bet they
at
do.
2 o'clock.
If they didn't, you were going to give them a cavity.
Exactly. But look, hey, I got our ambassadors. I got my ambassadors working the event at CAC. It's going to be a great day.
And it's not. I mean, listen. First of all,
it's a rally.
But I had an Auburn fan say to me on Facebook when I posted something about this. Well, I'd go if it weren't for all the Bama. I said, look, man, you're from Alex City. This is to honor a huge, famous personality who has overcome some things and done some fantastic things in his life from this community. This has nothing to do with Alabama. He happened to work for Alabama. Some of the players he coached went on to Auburn. I mean, get over yourself for a minute. And
Nick Saban's going to be there.
Yeah, I mean, Nick Saban will be there, but that's a big deal.
There's a lot of people coming to see Nick Saban.
Yeah,
so
true.
Anyway, but I mean, that's just.
But maybe they'll learn something.
Maybe they will. I want to run down the standings on SEC baseball. We'll start in the West. Auburn and Alabama just should be ashamed. Texas A&M 12-3, LSU 12-5, Ole Miss 8-10, Arkansas 7-9, and say Auburn a really, really good series against Ole Miss there. Alabama 7-11, Auburn 7-11, Mississippi State 6-11. In the East, it's Missouri 12-6, along with Vanderbilt 12-6, Florida 11-6, Kentucky 8-9, South Carolina 8-10, Georgia 6-11. Tennessee 5-13. So when you get past the top three in the East, the rest of them is mediocre to bad. Auburn and Alabama and Arkansas, kind of right there in the middle. It's kind of the same deal. Only 2 teams with winning records in the West, and that's Texas A&M, LSU. So I don't know. Auburn right now tied with Alabama. They've got a series coming up. Something will have to give there. They've got a series against South Carolina, who's 8-10. They've got a series against Florida coming up. They're 11-6. That'll be a tough series. So we'll just have to wait and see how it all plays out. But right now, Auburn and Alabama sitting on the teeter-tottering on the line right there of not making the SEC tournament.
Yeah, you talk about frustrating.
And Alabama's playing their home games at the Met.
Yeah.
And they may not even be able to stay there.
Well,
so maybe
they can get tickets then.
Yeah, maybe they can. So we're going to take a break here. When we come back, it'll be our final live segment, and we have some interviews coming up at the end. Stay tuned. More Sportz Blitz Live presented by JR's and SNS Discount Tire right after this.
Bradbury Medical Equipment serves the Lake Martin area's needs with durable medical equipment and respiratory care. Bradbury Medical Equipment is home-owned and operated, providing skilled, qualified, and professional people to set up and deliver all of their equipment. Bradbury Medical Equipment provides 24-hour service and will file all insurance claims, making claims trouble-free. Located on Airport Drive in Alexander City, Bradbury Medical Equipment, a history of neighborly care. Call them today at 256-215-8654.
JR's Catering is your premier choice for catering for any occasion in the Lake Martin area. Their quality food service can cater any event from banquets, family celebrations, charity events, political gatherings, as well as corporate catering. For delicious food of any kind and great service, call on JR's Catering today at 256-329-2328.
CNT Electric offers a wide range of installation and electrical repair services, as well as 24-hour emergency services. Our knowledgeable experts only use quality parts and electrical fixtures that we feel confident in putting our brand name behind. You're the most important person in our business, and we strive to exceed your expectations with every interaction. At CNT Electric, we're dedicated to providing you with the service you deserve and the quality you expect.
Over the years, S&S Tire has grown into the Lake Martin area's largest volume tire dealer. S&S Tire offers the industry's best brand names: Michelin, Goodyear, BF Goodrich, Uniroyal, Firestone, and much, much more. The tire pros at S&S offer professional installation and the region's best price. In addition to your tire needs, S&S offers full automotive mechanical work for all your vehicle maintenance and repair needs with the area's most experienced staff. Visit either of our 2 locations on Cherokee Road in Ellick City or at South Street in Dadeville. At S&S Tire, we're installing peace of mind for every customer we serve. Every job, every day.
Hi.
We're looking for insurance.
Let's see who's free.
When insurance agents work for only one company, their options are simply limited. But a Trusted Choice independent agent is free to shop many companies for a better deal. Free to do what's right for you.
Lila's Engraving, celebrating 20 years of business in Alexander City, is proud to supply the Lake Martin area with all of its trophies, plaques, name tags, and any other engraving needs. Lila's also specializes in custom framing of any size picture or portrait. Lila's Engraving has been and continues to be a proud sponsor of Lake Martin area athletics, so go by and see or call Lila's Engraving at 256-234-6004.
Welcome back to Sportz Blitz Live, presented by JR Sports Bar and Grill and S&S Discount Tire. A very short segment here, Luke, before we have Brian Matthews and Cole Kublik on toward the end of the show for the Auburn Blitz. So excited to have those interviews on. You'll want to stay tuned to listen to those. Real quick to end the program, the draft coming up very soon. The NFL schedule released, NBA playoffs going on. Looks like Cavaliers are about to go up 2-0 on the Celtics. Anybody shocked about that? I'm not. So how about seeing Golden? I heard Brian say, like to see Golden State and Cleveland in the finals. Probably be the most intriguing matchup of all the teams left. And who would ever thought Golden State would be a team you'd say would be a team that would be intriguing to see in the finals?
I mean, it's hard to believe, but they are a very good ball club. They only scored 97 points last night, but they are still very intriguing. The NFL thing is so funny. Colin Cowherd went off on it today about, do you think it's any coincidence at all that the NFL is releasing their schedule right here at the beginning of the NBA playoffs? And now they got the draft next week. So really, when the NBA should be having all the limelight, the NFL says not so fast, because I'm much more excited about overlooking this or looking over this schedule for the NFL than I am about any of these playoff games tonight. And I'm 10 times excited about the draft next week. Now, it makes a difference a little bit because I know Alabama's got a couple of guys that'll be definitely first-rounders. But I mean, I still love the NFL draft. And even though it's in Chicago this year, and even though a lot of people aren't going to be there, a lot of the guys that are going to be drafted, they just decided we're not going. I mean, Jameis Winston isn't going. Mariota isn't going. I don't think Amari Cooper's going. There are a lot of folks not going.
That's going to be weird.
That is going to be very weird.
Some of those guys walk up there. I do want us to go back and say Steph Curry hit 77 three-pointers in a row, and he hit 94 out of 100.
Brett, there's 0% chance that either you or I could stand under the basket and hit 77 layups.
And he hit 77 three-pointers. That's unbelievable.
It is.
He hit 94 of 100 shots. He took 100 three-point shots from top of the key, hit 94, and hit 77 in a row.
It's absolutely insane.
I mean, he's a guy that was a good player in college, but was definitely a guy that has overachieved since he's been in the NBA. I mean, he's not the tallest guy. He doesn't have the biggest build, but he just seems to he handles the ball tremendously well, can shoot. He's got one of the purest strokes you'll see. He's amazing. Mm-hmm. He's a guy that a lot of people want to see in the finals.
Fun to watch.
That's going to wrap it up here. We're coming to the end of this segment here, and we've got, again, want to remind everybody, we've got Brian Matthews coming on with AuburnSports.com first, and then we'll have Cole Kublik on as well to talk some Auburn athletics, and so you don't want to go anywhere. It's been a great show. We want to thank all of our callers. There's been a lot of callers tonight. I want to thank all of you for tuning us in throughout the state of Alabama. We do want to say one thing. Our thoughts and prayers go out to the owner of Lake Broadcasting right here in Alec City. His father passed away yesterday, and so our thoughts and prayers go out to John Kennedy and his family on the passing of his father. So we work very closely with John, a great friend of ours. So we just ask that all of you keep him in your thoughts and prayers during this trying time. So with that being said, we're going to take another break here. When we come back, Brian Matthews will be on the program with Andy Graham. Stay tuned. More Sports Blitz Live presented by JR's and SNS Discount Tire right after this.
Bucks Island is one of the oldest boat dealers in Alabama, serving boaters since 1948 with the largest boat showroom in the state. Bass boats featuring Skeeter, cruisers and sport boats featuring Monterey, pontoons featuring Crest, G3 and Voyagers, powered by Mercury and Yamaha. Bucks Island has sold over 10,000 boats and with a full service and parts and accessories department to keep your boat in top condition. Don't buy a boat till you get a Bucks quote. Visit Bucks Island on Highway 77 in Southside or online at bucksisland.com. Give them a call at 1-800-I'm-READY. Bucks Island, where our #1 product is customer satisfaction.
Hello, I'm Russell Building Supply.
And I'm the big box store.
Box, I don't mean to cut you short, but I've got a delivery to make.
A delivery?
Yeah, Russell delivers anywhere in the local area for free, usually on the same day, and that's on top of our low price guarantee.
Really? Free? Are you kidding me?
No, and if you prefer to pick the order up yourself, we'll load it for free.
And on the same day?
Yeah, we're really good at working on short lead times. How about you?
Yeah, I'm short.
Serving Lake Martin and Central Alabama.
Excitement awaits you on beautiful Lake Martin. Alex City Guide Service can provide you with a charter trip of a lifetime. Licensed charter guide David Hare has over 20 years of experience on Lake Martin, specializing in live bait fishing for trophy-sized saltwater striped bass, largemouth bass, and spotted bass. Call Alex City Guide Service today at 256-401-3089 or visit them online at www.alexcityguideservice.com.
Family owned and operated, Holly's Home Furnishings is the Lake Martin area's best choice for all of your furniture needs. Whether you're looking for something new for the living room, dining room, or bedroom, Holly's has something you'll love for every room in your house. Holly's has a great selection of furniture in the most popular names like Lane, Broyhill, Rowe Furniture, as well as the best names in mattresses like Sealy and Tempur-Pedic. You can even get beautiful home decor, everything your home needs, at Holly's Home Furnishings, located on Highway 22 West in Alex City. Visit their website at hollyshomefurnishings.com.
At the Medicine Shop, we're dedicated to the idea that quality pharmacy care means more than just prompt prescriptions. When you come to the Medicine Shop Pharmacy, you'll be able to count on dependable care from a knowledgeable pharmacist. The Medicine Shop is the only compounding pharmacy in the area, and we offer the shingles vaccine year-round. Bring your prescriptions by the drive-thru on Airport Drive in Alex City, or input them online at www.medicineshop.com, or call them at 256-215-8014. The Medicine Shop, caring beyond prescriptions.
So, you may not know it, but you've seen our work everywhere. For a combined 50 years, SignSource has been Central Alabama's premier option for all your sign needs. Custom signs for your business, club, or organization. Wraps and decals for your vehicle or boat. Full-color banners for your big sale, or a photo collage on canvas for grandma. All with fast, friendly, prompt service. Check out our website at signsourcenow.com. 888-533-6758. Go straight to the source. SignSource.
This segment of Sportz Blitz is brought to you by Hyundai of Auburn. You owe it to yourself. Call Hyundai of Auburn today at 334-321-0777 and visit them online at HyundaiofAuburn.com.
AuburnSports.com. Brian, how are you today?
Man, I'm doing terrific. How are you guys?
Doing really well. You sound excited. I'm assuming it's been a pretty busy weekend.
It has, but spring practice is over now, and we got to talk to the coordinators today a little bit about it, and just looking forward to a summer. We're going to concentrate more on recruiting now. Big Cat coming up in May, and then camps in June, so it'll be an exciting time at AuburnSports.com.
Well, Brian, of course, you can't really tell a whole lot from a spring game, but just kind of as an overall thing, with everything that went on this weekend, it seems like Auburn is trying to really make an effort for 8A to be fan-friendly, adding in so many different aspects to it, giving the fans so many opportunities to go out and be a part of different things. But just what was your impression of the overall day?
Well, I think what you talked about with the fan experience is something that Auburn started doing for the past 4 or 5 years, just increasing the different things to offer fans, because I think they feel like nationally, if you don't do that, you're going to start losing, fans that come to games. Your stadium's not going to be as full. So I think they feel like they have to be these teams as an athletic department. But my observation from A-Day, I thought Jeremy Johnson had a good day. I thought Rock Thomas had a great day. Myron Burton was terrific. Enjoyed seeing him, out there really for the first time since high school or summer camp when I saw him there. But overall, defensively, I thought those guys played hard. They ran to the ball. You could tell they're a little bit more intense out there. And I'm excited about the potential of this team going into the fall.
You mentioned Jeremy Johnson. He's named the starter yesterday. Gus Malzahn tweets that out. I think when you look at him, and, of course, as we have noticed the last couple of years, and even back to high school, those of us that have been watching him, the physical aspects of Jeremy Johnson are really unquestionable at this point. So it comes down to the fact of, between his ears and the fact that, is he the true undisputed leader of this team, I guess. Do you think that those kind of things will fit, or he has really taken hold of those things?
I think he is, and I think that's his biggest goal. We talked to Jimmy today, and he said the biggest thing this summer is he wants to set an example for his teammates. He wants to make sure that they don't repeat any of the mistakes they had off the field last year at this time, and he wants to continue to lead and develop as more of a leader for this team. So I think he knows what he wants to do, and he understands the responsibility of being a starting quarterback at a school like Auburn. And, I think he's done everything he needs to do to get ready for this moment. Now he just has to embrace it and go out there and play to the best of his ability.
You also mentioned Myron Burton. He's a guy that we heard his teammates talk about him in bowl preparation. The fact that he had stepped up, he was really looking good. Had not really heard his name a lot during spring practice, but like you said, he had a tremendous day. I think he opened a lot of eyes. Maybe he looks almost like a number 2 kind of receiver.
I think eventually he can be a number 1 guy. I really do, because when I watch him, I see a guy that had really good ball skills. I think Lashley described him as a guy that attacked the ball, which is certainly a positive there. And I think he has the speed and the size to be a number 1 eventually. Not right away, I think Auburn's got some pretty good and experienced receivers ahead of him, but I think he's the guy that's going to help out this year. And then next year, when Auburn has to replace 3 or 4 seniors at the receiving spot, I think he'd be ready to really step up and take a much bigger role.
The other guy you mentioned, of course, Rock Thomas. He led the team in rushing. What's the difference between Rock Thomas as a freshman and a sophomore?
Well, I think a couple things. Number one, he's 10 to 12 pounds heavier, so he's a more physical runner between the tackle. And number two, I think just a year working with Tim Horton and working in this offense has taught him to run north-south more and to concentrate on, taking that one cut and exploding and, getting a good 4 or 5 or 6 yard run instead of trying to break one every time and, maybe lose yards. So I think he's really a dynamic player at running back for Auburn. And I think he's going to play a lot. I think he can make big plays, not just run the ball, but catch the ball in the backfield. And whereas maybe a week ago before the 8-day game, I was thinking, hey, somebody like Javon Robinson is going to take this running back position over once he gets rolling in the fall. I don't feel that way anymore. I think, Rock Thomas and either Javon or Peyton, whoever steps up, are going to share this more than Auburn's really shared that role at running back the last couple of years with Cameron Arspay and Trey Mason.
We got Brian Matthews from AuburnSports.com joining us here on Sports Call this afternoon. As it always is, it was a huge recruiting weekend for Auburn. Like I said, as it always is for A-Day. But would you mind breaking that down a little bit for us? Talk about some of the guys that were here.
Ton of players here, including 5-star Marlon Davidson, of course, from Montgomery Carver was here again. And, he won't name Auburn or anybody's leader right now, but, we continue to think that Auburn's in great shape there. Of course, his older brother played at Auburn, is now an assistant coach at Auburn. It looks like some things could be hopping this week as far as Auburn recruiting goes. Trey Threat, the 4-star number 10 linebacker in the country from down there at Spanish Sports, can announce his decision Thursday. We'll be there for that. He said that Auburn Ole Miss were his co-leaders after A-Day, but we feel like Auburn's in great shape there. And then Elijah Stove, a Rivals 100 wide receiver. He told us, I think a couple of days ago, that he was going to commit to Auburn soon. And if he does, that would give Auburn 2 of the top 4 wide receivers in the country in this class, along with Nate Craig Myers. So things are really looking up for Auburn recruiting. And, of course, we've got the coaches going on the road starting this week. And then, before you know it, in the May will be here. We'll be talking about Big Cat Weekend, which I expect will be another big one for Auburn.
How do you guys make a decision about whether you're going to attend one of these press conferences? Do you talk about the feeling about, the percentage of what they're going to commit to Auburn or not?
We usually know. I mean, we usually have our ways of finding out. I'm not saying all the time we know, but I'd say 90% of the time we know if the guy's going to commit or not. But
so if you're there, we can take that as a really good sign.
That's a really good sign. Not automatic, but it's a really good sign. There's been a couple that I've been to where I was surprised, and there's a couple that I just I go to because I'm trying to help out another site. Maybe they don't have a guy that can be there, so I'm going there for them. But most of the time, if me or one of our guys are there, you can pretty much put it in the bank that it's pretty good news for Auburn.
Well, we'll change gears here for a minute. It was a good weekend for the baseball program. I guess maybe good and bad. I'm not sure. But what was the deal with Keegan Thompson this weekend?
Well, we're going to find out more tonight. Auburn's about to play a midweek game here in a little bit, and we're going to talk to Coach Galloway afterwards. But I think there's concern. Coach Galloway said Saturday after the doubleheader that he had some tendonitis, and he said that it wasn't a big deal. And sort of left it at that. But we'll see. He's a guy they got to have down the stretch here.
"2015 is a new year, and the rules for FHA loans have changed.
If you currently have an FHA loan, call Home Place Mortgage today.
Right now, we can refinance your current FHA mortgage without an appraisal.
Your interest rate will reduce, and so will your monthly mortgage insurance.
Call us today to start saving in 2015.
Show Enough Barbecue. Since
Since 1990, we've been serving you the finest barbecue in Alexander City. Gerald believes in cooking fresh meat daily, and the secret to that is, I'm not going to tell you. Show Enough is just not about barbecue, but also known for fresh vegetables and homemade pies. That's where I come in. I'm Linda Sanford, better known as the Pie Lady. We also do catering. For more information, give us a call at 234-7675.
Folks around these parts have known for a long time that Walls Tire, just a mile past the bridge on Highway 280, is your #1 stop for automotive service and repair. At Walls Tire, you'll always find quality service at a fair price on everything from AC, name brand tires, big or small repairs, routine maintenance, towing, and more. When your car or truck needs to run right, there's one place in the area to go, conveniently located and easy to find. Walls Tire, just a mile past the bridge on Highway 280.
Around here, we have our own way of looking at things, whether it's a community event or an afternoon stroll, a lakeside sunset, or our community hospital. We expect the best. That means leading-edge technology, expert care, highly skilled nurses, and quality outcomes. Always being our best and caring for the needs of our hometown. Russell Medical Center. We're here for you.
Let me tell you about Satterfield. Check out the beautiful showroom at Satterfield on Highway 280 in Alexander City. They have a great selection of outdoor grilling lines for your entertainment needs. Name brands like Big Green Egg, Lynx, Blaze, and Sabre are just a few. How about those grill basins? Also, lawn equipment by Shindawa, Echo, and Husqvarna. Power tools by Makita, and a great line of Carhartt clothing. All of this in one location. Satterfield on Highway 280 in Alexander City. Stop by and visit today.
When you need plumbing service, call on the professionals at A&M Plumbing LLC. For over 20 years, our mission has been to provide the best possible service available in the industry, and we specialize in solving difficult problems. We offer a wide range of services, such as installation, service, repair, and replacement of common fixtures, water heaters, toilets, faucets, drains, sewer lines, and septic tank pumping and cleaning services. Unlike many companies, our septic tank services include field line testing. Our knowledgeable staff will be happy to answer any of your questions. So call A&M Plumbing LLC today.
To go to the AO Tourism Hotline and welcome in a very special guest, Cole Cuban, former offensive lineman, AL.com contributor, football analyst, and host of the Cole Kublik Show there. Airing weekly, 6 to 10 a.m. there, 103.9 FM and 7:30 a.m. Cole, thank you so much for taking some time for us today.
No problem, Andy. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Well, of course, Auburn A-Day this past weekend. You being a former player at Auburn, I'm kind of curious, what's your criteria, or back when you were a player, what was your criteria for really having a successful spring?
Well, you want to see improvement, not only individually with yourself or as a unit, as a position group, but also as a team. You also want to get out of spring healthy. I think that's really a key factor that's not really something anyone can control as you can, as far as improving your fundamentals or improving what you do as a position group or as a player. But at the same time, you just want to try and improve yourself, improve your team. Fundamentally, you want to focus a little bit more. And a lot of times they're trying to win positions as well. So I think coming out of it healthy and also trying to just improve yourself individually are the main things you try to accomplish in spring.
Well, when you look at the offensive line, especially this past weekend, what did you see, or what was your evaluation, good or bad?
I thought they looked good. The second team, you don't have high expectations for that group, really. You got two kids that graduated high school early. They should be going to prom here the next few weekends, and they're out there playing offensive line. In my position, the most difficult spot to come in and play early and be a contributor. I think both those young men were redshirt, but really valuable experience that they're getting right now to be able to get through this spring football. I thought the first group looked great. I thought that was really nice. You'd like to see a little bit more push on the interior with those middle three from the first group, especially considering what you're going to have. But Sean Coleman's out, Alex Kozan's out, so it's hard to get a gauge on what this group is going to look like come September. But I do believe that the guys that are there now have a chance really being the lead offensive line in the SEC, one of the better, if not the best offensive line in the Southeastern Conference. Austin Golson just gives this group a very physical presence, a big presence. He can be a bit of a mauler, be a guy that pushes folks around on the interior of the offensive line. Offense had that in a while. How many teams do have that? And I think he also provides some versatility if he wanted to move different guys around. And he can play guard, he can play tackle if Xavier Dampier continues to come along. I was really impressed with Braden Smith. He's a young kid. He's very strong, very powerful. You saw some flashes last year that if he gets his hands on guys, he can be dominant. And I think he's beginning to understand the fundamentals of the position. I think being moved back down inside for Braden Smith has been very stable as well. It kind of tightens up the phone booth a little bit and gives the defenders less space to operate. And as a youngster, that's valuable because you don't necessarily understand fully footwork balance and not lunging, trying to overpower guys with your upper body. So I feel pretty good about the group.
Harbor Point Marina is ready for boating season and invites the region to come see our huge selection of Four Winds bow riders and Crest pontoons for this season. Whether you're from Lake Martin, Montgomery, Auburn, or Birmingham, it pays to make the trip to Savings and Selection at Alabama's best place for Crest pontoons and Four Winds bow riders. All our new 2015 bow riders and pontoon boats are at boat show pricing, and remaining 14s are at clearance price to make room for our growing used boat selection. If you're ready for boating, get to the point. Visit Harbor Point Marina, located on the water in the Stillwater Resort at Lake Martin, or shop online for all selection and pricing.
What better way to start the new year than by saving a ton of money on a new set of tires at S&S Discount Tire Pros? S&S Discount Tire Pros offers great tire brands like Bridgestone and Firestone. All tires and service are backed by their nationwide warranty, including free roadside assistance with every purchase. Bring in the new year at S&S Discount Tire Pros, located in Alexander City and Davil, or visit online at snsdiscounttirepros.com. With savings like that, you'll be ahead all year.
So, you may not know it, but you've seen our work everywhere. For a combined 50 years, SignSource has been Central Alabama's premier option for all your sign needs. Custom signs for your business, club, or organization. Wraps and decals for your vehicle or boat. Full-color banners for your big sale, or a photo collage on canvas for grandma. All with fast, friendly, prompt service. Check out our website at signsourcenow.com. 888-533-6758. Go straight to the source. SignSource.
Auburn Urgent Care, located on South College in Auburn and on Enterprise Drive in Opelika near Tigertown, offers convenient solutions to your health care and occupational medicine needs. We offer workman's compensation injury care, and we have a certified DOT medical examiner on staff. And we're open 7 days a week to best serve you. Call us today at 334-821-3221. It's not about speed, it's about the quality of care. Auburn Urgent Care.
Lee Marketing Group is proud to announce their recent alliance with Baker Street Advertising, based in Opelika, Alabama. Now more than ever, it's important to develop a marketing plan that creates a compelling message, deploys that message, and analyzes metrics to optimize performance. LMG Baker strengthens our mission to help businesses market to their potential. Contact Randy Lee Jr. 256-750-5951 or visit our website, leemarketing.net. From cruises and resorts to land tours and completely packaged vacations, Rutalisa Anderson of Cruise Planners specializes in all types of travel and will create an unforgettable vacation just for you. Visit exotic destinations, Alaska, Europe, Hawaii, and more. Visit exclusivecruiseplanners.com or call Rutalisa Anderson of Cruise Planners today, toll free at 844-722-6342.